depth on the defensive line do for the individuals who are playing those spots?
I mean, it's just massive. In my past, in my career, especially my times at Duke, we had times where we only felt like we could only play three guys, where we had defensive tackle rooms where we were like, this is only going to be us guys, so we only play with three. And so for this year, coming up right now with us having, almost 5 to 6 guys who can consistently go in the game and make plays for us, it's huge. Just being able to go out there and not worry about am I going to be able to play the next snap because I'm so exhausted, just knowing that and having faith in your brothers that, when I go out here and give my all on this play right here, I know one of my brothers will come in here and do the same exact thing. So it's huge.
What has developed the most in your game over your career?
I would just say my run game. That's something I really tried to take pride in, this last year and the last year coming up. I just feel like my run game is the point of emphasis that I really wanted to, make a space to improve in, and I feel like I've done that so far.
Obviously, there's been one more addition this summer to the room in Curtis Perry. What have you seen from him since he's arrived?
Just a physical presence. Curtis is just one of those guys where he's just a hard-nosed, go-to-work kind of guy. He's not really all about the flash, but when he puts his hand in the ground, he just gets right to it. You can tell that whoever trained with him trained him to be real physical, a real tough-nosed kind of guy, and I feel like that's what we needed in this room.
Is there anything unique or appreciative that you got out of your spring and summer working out here that was new to you compared to in your past seasons?
I would just say the emphasis on off-season training and working on our craft. I feel like me and also a ton of other guys in the off-season really put a real emphasis on working on our craft this off-season and, just prioritizing our technique. I feel like overall, in my time here, I feel like this is the most technical group I've ever been a part of. I just feel like that was really a priority for us over the off-season, and it was refreshing.
Aeneas, you came in and were named the defensive MVP of the spring, which is pretty unusual for someone who's brand new and had very little time. Do you feel even more comfortable now that you're 5 or 6 practices into training camp?
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of a slowly progressing thing every day. I was so appreciative and so humbled to be named the defensive MVP of that spring, and I feel like it was a real mission of mine to try to come in and keep my head down and work. I didn't, really want to get into all this guy's new. I just wanted to show everybody that I'm here to work, regardless of what the narrative or the image is, but I'm here to make this team be the best it can. So, yeah.
Aeneas, how would you describe J.C. Price's coaching style?
Coach Price is unique. That's the best way I'll put it. He's the perfect combination of both. When I'm doing wrong, he'll let me know I'm doing wrong, and when I'm doing right, he'll jump in the air and celebrate with me. And I feel like that's exactly what I needed, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted to come and play for Virginia Tech.
Do you feel like that sets a tone in that room, and does everybody kind of follow his lead on that?
Yeah, it sets a standard. We know what's right and we know what's wrong, and we know the expectation that we have for us as a D lineman group, and we know where that bar is at. So, it's great having a coach who's going to hold us accountable every single day, no matter the conditions, whether it's a hot summer day or it's a cold winter one. We know where that bar is at. We know the standard that he set. So it's just great to have a voice in there that'll keep us accountable for that.
Aeneas, what has stood out to you the most about the offensive line when you're going up against them every single practice? What sticks out in your mind when, you just think of those battles in the trenches every practice?
This is probably one of the smartest group of offensive linemen I've been a part of. When it's just coming to the checks at the line, how they communicate down the line, it almost feels at times like X is communicating with with Pat. Like, it's just back and forth. Them guys just talk all day long, And then another thing is their technique. They've just developed so many techniques and so many different ways to confuse the defensive line since I've been here, just from spring to, right now in the fall camp. And it's been great to see these guys work.
Aeneas, Coach Marv said the 2 things that describe you were humble spirit and worker. Where do you get those traits from?
I feel like my father. You know, he really instilled in me in those kind of in those kind of things, in those kind of values. Excuse me, that's what I'm looking for. But yeah, he really instilled those kind of values to me from a young age. You know, and also never really looking for that kind of gratification in those kind of aspects. You know, I've always just tried to let my work show. You know.
Any questions on Zoom?
Any final questions for Aeneas on Zoom? Okay, Travis?
Thank you so much.